In my previous life, Amanda schemed to elope with a poor scholar, plotting to marry me off to the so-called useless Prince Ethan, to whom she was betrothed. Yet when Ethan unexpectedly ascended the throne, I became the revered empress while Amanda spent her life digging wild vegetables to survive. Now reborn, I watch Amanda tearfully throw herself into Ethan's arms, determined to claim him as her husband. I realize she's also regained her memories, but remains oblivious that both her beloved scholar and Ethan are equally worthless. Chapter 1. My vision cleared to reveal puckered lips approaching my face. The man gripping my waist and cradling my head was none other than Ethan, my former husband. The throbbing pain at my neck confirmed it. I'd returned to the exact moment before my ruin. Last time, Amanda had drugged me and delivered me to Ethan's bedchamber, forcing our marriage through scandal while she played the heartbroken victim. Now history repeated itself until Amanda's slap shattered the illusion. "How dare you, Ivy!" she shrieked, yanking me away from Ethan. "He's your future brother-in-law." Clutching Ethan like precious jade, Amanda wept artfully. "Your Highness, don't fall for her tricks. I'm your true betrothed." I nearly laughed at her audacity. The genius beauty who'd once disdained Ethan's reputation as a fool now fought desperately for the same man. Memories flooded back, Amanda's later madness when Ethan became emperor, her public smear campaigns against me, that final confrontation where she'd screamed about resetting fate before stabbing her own throat. Her sacrifice had indeed rewound time. But at what cost? Even now with disheveled hair and torn gown, Amanda outshone me like moonlight against candle glow. Yet I knew the truth she didn't. Ethan's eventual reign resulted from pure luck during the royal succession wars, not competence. As for her scholar lover, a con artist who'd drain her fortune within 5 years. Let her have this hollow victory. When reality crumbles her delusions, Amanda will learn true despair tastes far bitterer than wild vegetables. From Ethan's perspective, there must have been quite the scandalous scene unfolding. His eyes were practically glued to the spectacle. He impatiently wrapped his arm around Amanda, not even glancing my way. "Thank heavens you arrived when you did. That scheming which almost tricked me." Amanda shot me a triumphant glare. "What are you still doing here?" "Scram." "Oh. I'd scram all right, just far enough to watch their little rendezvous unfold. Last time, after Amanda framed me, our parents came storming in with half the household staff. This time, she'd rushed here too quickly to alert them. Right on cue, the distant clamor of lanterns and hurried footsteps approached the secluded chamber. Father kicked the door open at the first suggestive noise, only to slam it shut moments later after recognizing the entangled figures. "Let me make this clear." His voice boomed at the gathered servants. "Anyone breathing a word about tonight's affairs will answer to me personally." Ice flooded my veins. When they'd caught Ethan assaulting me in my past life, Father had dragged my half-dressed body before male servants without hesitation. 20 lashes and 3 days locked in the cellar later. I'd wished for death. I'd thought his cruelty stemmed from shame. But now I understood, it was always about Amanda being the favored daughter. Their engagement was announced within days. While I'd been branded a harlot, Amanda's reputation remained spotless. Not for long. During Father's pompous speech about family honor, a panicked servant interrupted. "Sir, there's some penniless scholar at the gates claiming to be engaged to Miss Amanda. He's waving around intimate garments as proof." Father's face purpled. "Drive that filth away this instant." "But sir, you should see the crowd he's gathered." The spectacle unfolded beautifully. Though Father imprisoned the scholar, the scandal spread through the capital like wildfire. Amanda remained smug. "Don't worry, Father. The prince adores me, he'd never believe such slander." She clearly remembered Ethan's obsession with me in our past life. What she didn't know was that after her betrayal, I'd seized control of that worthless prince's every vice. Men are simple creatures: power, wealth, lust. I fed Ethan endless streams of gold and concubines while quietly steering his political maneuvers. By the time he took the throne, the crown rested on my brow in all but name. Had Amanda not triggered this rebirth, the throne would have been mine within the year. Watching our parents praise Amanda's principled rejection of the scholar turned my stomach. Our daughter would never consort with such riffraff, father declared to lingering onlookers. This slanderer will face the magistrate's harshest punishment. I smiled behind my sleeve. Let them play their righteous roles. Amanda's precious prince would arrive soon enough and find his blushing bride's undergarments displayed half across the city. When the crowd heard that the scholar would be reported to the authorities, they quickly stopped gossiping. My father locked the poor scholar in the storage room under strict surveillance. Yet the fool kept shouting father-in-law and demanded to confront Amanda face to face. Furious, my father summoned Amanda to explain herself. Amanda finally confessed everything, how she'd foolishly chosen the scholar over marrying Ethan, even losing her virginity to him. My mother nearly fainted upon hearing this. Despite his usual indulgence toward Amanda, my father slapped her hard. How could you ruin yourself like this? Our family's honor. Amanda pleaded. Father, I secretly met Ethan yesterday to cover this up. Thankfully, he still believes I'm pure. Relieved, my mother urged forgiveness. My father grimly made a throat-slitting gesture. We must finish this. The scholar was released and offered gold to recant his claims. Greedily swearing innocence, he theatrically denounced himself in public, sobbing about his delusional attempt to slander the Johnson family. The act worked, rumors died down. At his farewell feast hosted by my father, the drunken scholar boasted about his extraordinary destiny and recited stolen poetry. I almost laughed when he quoted Plum Blossoms, the same dozen poems he'd recycled in his past life. Send Mr. Lou home, my father ordered when the fool began rambling about being from another world. Hours later, the scholar collapsed bleeding outside his shack. With Amanda now married to Ethan, I finally had peace, though mother's constant criticism remained. During father's birthday banquet, Amanda flaunted extravagant gifts, sneering at me, trash belongs with beggars. I smiled. Funny you hate wild vegetables so much. Did Ethan's cooking disappoint you? Her face paled. After all, she'd soon learn why stolen happiness never lasts. You, Amanda snapped, raising her hand threateningly before noticing the crowd. She sneered. Keep your sharp tongue. Harder times await. I smiled faintly, gaze lingering on her gift box, casually stepping on Miss Johnson's skirt. I watched her stumble into Amanda's present pile. The avalanche of boxes revealed most were empty except 2 display pieces. The crowd erupted in laughter. Amanda paled, shrieking at servants. Where are the contents? You worthless fools must have messed up. A nobleman mocked. Can't afford real gifts. Duchess? Blaming servants won't hide your empty coffers. Another added. Odd, considering his grace spent fortunes at brothels yesterday. I hid my smirk. Having married Ethan in my past life, I knew his financial ruin. The crown's stipend couldn't fund his debauchery, even daily expenses relied on credit. Amanda's cheap trick didn't surprise me. Only her audacity did. She turned on me viciously. This was your doing, Ivy. How else would Miss Johnson fall? Ask her. Not me, I replied coolly. Ethan approached, leering. Darkness hid your beauty last time, dear sister. My skin crawled at his unchanged vulgarity. Amanda's cough finally diverted him. Post-banquet, she cornered father. Since I'm wed, we must find Ivy a match. The Lee family's second son. No, I interrupted. Parents would be lonely with both daughters gone. Mother frowned. All girls marry eventually. We'll arrange. I'll take her. The deep voice came from Liam emerging from shadows. My breath caught the man who had loved me unconditionally in my past life. Even after discovering my schemes, his smoldering gaze held that familiar devotion. Amanda recovered first. Father! This is improper. Why? Father brightened at having two sons-in-law from powerful families. She's unworthy. Amanda sputtered. I countered. Sister forgets her own scandals? As they argued, Liam's unwavering eyes promised everything. The game had truly begun. My father refused to yield this time. His face stern as he scolded. This is utter nonsense. Weren't you the one who suggested finding a match for Ivy? I thought Prince Liam showed promise. He stroked his beard, appraising Liam with renewed interest. I too studied the prince carefully. Liam possessed striking features, tall frame, arched brows framing keen eyes. Though his dancer mother's low-born status made him the court's laughingstock. Even after the emperor lost interest in his concubine and abandoned the boy, I knew better. Last life had taught me of Liam's hidden brilliance that only revealed itself when he'd ingeniously saved me from peril. The corner of Liam's mouth lifted as he clasped hands in salute. Then I'll petition His Majesty tomorrow regarding this union. After his departure, Amanda drew our mother aside. When they emerged, Mother declared firmly, I oppose this marriage between Liam and Ivy. Father frowned. Why this sudden opposition? I demand explanations. Mother glanced helplessly at Amanda, who sneered. I dreamed of Ivy's wedding bringing our family to the executioner's block. If she wants to court disaster, fine, but must she drag us all down? Father paled. I'll stop Liam's petition at court tomorrow. I knew immediate action was required. At dawn, rumors spread of Amanda's illicit affairs before marriage. Father rushed to contain the scandal, diverting all family resources. The source? That wretched gambler who'd plagued Amanda last life. When confronted, the scoundrel jeered at Father. Thought you'd silenced me. Old fool. Your poison failed. He rounded on Amanda. You scheming witch. Can't bear anyone outshining you. Maddened, Amanda snatched a blade from a servant, only to be disarmed by Liam. As guards hauled the troublemaker away, Liam invited Father for private talks. Later, Father accepted the imperial marriage decree without protest, though his warmth toward me vanished. The gambler's survival was my doing. I'd secretly saved him, coaching him to expose Amanda at the critical moment. My confidence stemmed from noticing Liam's lingering gazes during banquets, same as last life when he'd willingly been my pawn. Though the scandal was contained, Amanda's troubles continued. The gambler, now under Liam's protection but needing funds, blackmailed her relentlessly. Multiple assassination attempts failed due to Liam's elite guards. Finally threatened with imperial exposure, Amanda begrudgingly funded his vices from her own coffers. True to his nature, the rogue required no instructions in tormenting Amanda. His harassment persisted until my wedding day. That night, Liam hesitantly confessed. Miss Ivy, I know you're clever. The imperial decree, it wasn't my preferred path. Don't worry, Miss Ivy. I won't lay a finger on you without your consent. In my past life, I'd resorted to seduction, even crawling into his bed to manipulate him. Yet when I stripped bare, Liam closed his eyes and redressed me with trembling hands. Just tell me what you need, Ivy. No sacrifices necessary, he'd said hoarsely. I, Liam Anderson, swear to move mountains for anything you ask. When I jokingly questioned, what if I wanted the throne? I'll never forget how his smoldering gaze sharpened into clarity before he vowed. Then it shall be yours. That's why he later helped Ethan steal his own achievements to secure the crown. Even now, reborn, I can't fathom loving someone enough to sacrifice everything unconditionally. We slept clothed that night, neither crossing the line. Since marrying Liam, Amanda couldn't bully me anymore, not when Ethan and that gambling-addicted scholar kept her scrambling to clean up their messes. The scholar's debt became my leverage. Pressing my dagger to his throat, I hissed. I know you're from another world with clever tricks. But remember, I'm nobility. You're expendable. He knelt trembling. I swore off gambling. My lady! Gambling's the least concern. I said coldly. Prove your worth or die. That paper-making technique you drunkenly bragged about, start talking. His eyes lit up. Right. With your support, we'll revolutionize industries. From cheap quality paper to superior soap and refined salt. Within months I became the kingdom's wealthiest mystery. Meanwhile, Amanda grew desperate yet clung to her delusion. You're destined to be emperor, she insisted to Ethan, who laughed drunkenly. 5 princes ahead of me? Dream on. But her eyes turned fanatical. When the 3 princes' war erupts, we'll seize power. My spies reported this unsurprisingly. Amanda had staked 2 lifetimes on men's ambitions. What a waste of rebirth. Last life. I manipulated the 3 princes' conflict. Now Amanda tries replaying my strategy, unaware the game's rules have changed. When I told Liam about this, his gaze remained steady as he looked at me and posed the same question. Ivy, what do you truly desire? I understood that survival in this world demanded strength. Without it, every step would feel like walking on thin ice. Without hesitation, I answered. What if I told you I want the entire kingdom? He studied me with softened eyes. Then we'll turn their schemes against them and eliminate all threats in one sweep. Your ambitions. I'll make them reality. In that moment, I was truly moved to tears. With Liam managing internal affairs, financial matters fell entirely to me. Though reserved by nature and skilled at maintaining low profiles across lifetimes, he systematically accomplished every necessary task. I never learned how he gained the Emperor's trust to stage their elaborate ruse. But when he unexpectedly called me Ivy during our farewell, I knew his intentions. That night would bring palace upheaval. I straightened his jade crown and robe, smiling. Your Highness, I'll await your return. His fingers twitched as if to grasp mine. Yet he restrained himself, murmuring soon before departing. Watching his retreating figure, I recalled his lifelong composure, whether shielding me from bullies or confronting greater powers. A gentleman of unparalleled grace. As flawless as jade. I brewed tea through the sleepless night until dawn's third crow brought commotion. The door burst open with winter's breath. My teacup trembled slightly before I calmly turned to face Liam, now disheveled with snow-dusted hair and pale complexion. Ivy. I'm home. He smiled weakly. The blood seeping through his chest revealed the truth. His earlier use of my name had been farewell. Last night's mission to the palace was meant to be final. Now addressing me formally again signaled settled affairs. Pressing warm tea into his hands, I tended his bandaged wound. Just a scratch, he claimed. Welcome back, I replied, asking no questions as we retired. An hour later, urgent knocking interrupted. Your Highnesses. The Emperor summons Prince Liam. The awaited moment arrived. Liam became Crown Prince. Last night, the skeptical Emperor had heeded his warnings to set traps. 2 princes bribed palace eunuchs in their coup attempt, murdering the heir and storming royal chambers. Liam's intervention saved the Emperor from fatal steel. The shaken ruler executed the conspirators and, lacking worthy heirs, named Liam's successor. As for Ethan, that incompetent fool lost catastrophically without our guidance, following Amanda's disastrous commands. At that time, the Emperor, driven paranoid by his 2 sons' conspiracy, mistook Ethan Spencer's armed intrusion as rebellion. Poor Ethan only managed to cry father before being impaled by the imperial sword. The Emperor later condemned the entire rebellion, dragging Amanda Wilson, who'd been waiting at the Johnson family estate, straight to the dungeons. My parents were exiled to the frontier that very day, never permitted to return to the capital. As for me, Liam's heroic intervention during the crisis and my apparent innocence spared me consequences. I still saw my parents off at the city gates. My mother wailed, Calling me a jinx. I smiled coldly. Still the same spiteful woman. I see. Though jinx fits better than harlot spawn you've always called me. Her face paled. You knew? Of course. I recounted everything I'd uncovered. My birth mother was a peasant girl forcibly taken by father. When she grew pregnant with me, you tampered with her childbirth, hoping to kill us both. But I survived. Her mask finally slipped. I should have smothered you in your cradle. Too late. In my previous life, I died before uncovering these truths. Now, I nodded to my maid who distributed coin purses to the guards. Ensure their journey is thoroughly supervised. Father screamed curses. Patricide. May lightning strike you. I watched dispassionately as shackles clamped around their wrists. They needed to live long enough to properly atone. Next, I visited Amanda in her cell. Disheveled and stripped of finery, she clutched the bars. Ivy, tell Liam to fix this. Ethan never plotted rebellion. I tilted my head. Would the Emperor admit error after issuing edicts? Then save me, she begged before switching tactics. Filthy whore. I should have been queen. You and your harlot mother deserve dash. My slap echoed in the stone chamber. Still don't understand? You lost because you're stupid. Last lifetime, you bet on that talentless scholar over Ethan. This time, you gambled on Ethan himself. Your mistake was always relying on men. As eunuchs brought the poisoned chalice, Amanda trembled. No more chances. None. I watched coldly as they forced the draft between her lips. The woman who'd schemed across 2 lifetimes died choking on her own venom. The following year, Liam ascended the throne. I became his sole queen while expanding my merchant empire. My husband content to play statesman. Let him keep the crown. True power flowed through my coffers. I thought we would live out our days in peace and contentment. But in the 5th year of Liam's reign, after the realm had stabilized, his health began deteriorating rapidly. By the end, he resembled a candle burning its last flicker. I became the revered Queen Ivy Wilson, worshipped by multitudes. Why? My voice cracked. You're only 25. In my previous life before rebirth, Liam had lived past 30 in robust health. Had altering fate's course somehow eroded his vitality? Summoning the royal physician, I demanded answers. After harsh reprimands, the trembling man confessed Liam had been diagnosed with incurable slow-acting poison 3 years prior, toxins only detectable through meticulous examination. Staring at the frail figure before me, I choked out. Who would dare poison you? Tell me. Ivy. He rasped, using my familiar name despite imperial protocol. Does your emperor now measure up to half his worth? Whom do you mean? The shadow. Blood speckled his linen as he chuckled. From our first meeting, I felt you saw through me, to some phantom from your past. Was he significant? Tears blurred my vision. Crucially important. But not as you imagine. Enough. His skeletal fingers brushed mine. Have I served adequately as his replacement? Beyond adequacy. My composure shattered. Far beyond. Liam smiled faintly. Turning to the Chamberlain. Decree: Prime Minister Travis Johnson of the Johnson family is convicted of regicide. Execute him with the draft he brewed. As guards marched out, he pressed the royal seal into my palms. My final gift, removing your greatest threat. The throne is yours now. His fading eyes clung to my face. Remember me. Epilogue: That autumn, Queen Ivy Wilson ascended as monarch. By winter solstice, Emperor Liam perished. Posthumously titled Emperor Wencheng. Historical records praise the golden age of Wencheng and Wenfeng, an era where gender equality flourished. Marriages followed free will, and prosperity reigned under the dual sovereign's enlightened rule.